Hey guys, Lindsay Hammond here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I want to tell you guys what a home inspection is. There's a lot of questions out there, even for people who have bought tons of houses, still about the difference in an appraisal versus a home inspection. I just did a video on home appraisals and what that is, so check below in the description. Look at that, that'll give you some good info. But today, let's dig right in and let's go about home inspections. So home inspections are completely done by the buyer. The buyer picks who the home inspector is, the buyer pays for it, and then the buyer is going to review those results. Now, obviously, your real estate agent can give you some suggestions and give you some recommendations, but it's ultimately the buyer's choice as to who they want to use. Now, the inspector that a lot of my clients use, he charges typically around $300 for anything less than 2,000 square feet. It goes up to $350 for anything above 2,000 square feet. And then he comes in, gives us his list, and gives it to us. Now, when you put in an offer, if you give yourselves due diligence period, that is your chance to do the inspection. Here in Georgia, we have the due diligence period, and that is your chance to back out for any reason whatsoever. In Alabama, you also get a due diligence period, and you can still back out, but it has to be related to the inspection. A little bit of different lingo there. But either way, you get this chance to do your inspection. If the inspection goes terrible and you find something that's horrible and a deal breaker, you get to back out free and clear and keep your earnest money. You also have your option to negotiate. So you can ask for all kinds of things. You can ask for all of the items to be repaired. You can ask for, this is your chance to get that termite letter or to get the home warranty, or to ask, I've had them ask for closing costs before. This is just your chance to negotiate. So what you do is you set up the inspector. He's going to come to the house, depending on how big, depends on how long he'll be there. So if it's the seller, you need to leave. It's good to give out any kind of receipts of work you've had done, just to clarify any questions for him. Give him all that stuff. He does his things. He's going to go through and he's going to look at everything. He is looking at floors and walls and ceilings and your appliances to make sure they work. He's looking at the attic. He's looking in the vents. He's looking at everything to make sure this house is move-in ready for you. Now, when he does this, he's going to have his camera and he's going to be taking pictures so that you can reference back. So he's going to go through, do all that. A lot of times your agent will meet you there for the end, which is the summary, and that's where he goes over all the major things that he's found just to make you aware of them and describe them more in detail. Then he will send us that report, and he typically, if he knows your agent especially, he'll send it to you and your agent. And then you guys get to go over and decide what's a big deal, what's not. In this market, I try to advise my sellers or my buyers to ask for things that are a really big deal. So when you're getting multiple offers on a home, you want to find only the stuff that's the biggest deal. You don't want to nitpick and say, oh, that was a spot of paint was missing, or you know, that door, the handle felt a little jiggly, or those tiny things that you don't have to be so peculiar on. Kind of let those slide and pick on the big stuff. So some of the big things that I've seen recently would be, you know, any kind of foundation issues. That's a really big deal. HVAC not functioning properly. That's a big deal. Any leaks. That's a huge deal because that's a really big expense. You know, looking at some of those high dollar things. Were the appliances up to par? Has the roof, does it have any kind of damage that it could have? Just anything like that. Those are big things that you're going to want to do. Now, obviously, this is a totally different process than with the new construction. You do your inspections on your new construction too, but on that, you're nitpicking everything to death because you're buying a brand new move-in ready house. So new inspections, totally different ball game, totally different series on that because everything is different with that. So that is what you're looking for with your inspection. Now, when the inspector goes in and gives you the report, there are also these things that they can provide for you that's called an inspection checklist. And it's a really easy way for you to go through, highlight everything that you want fixed, and then it'll send that report to your agent. So it can make it easier for her to look through it and go, go through everything with you that way. It also kind of streamlines your thoughts and what's going on. So an inspection is really important. It gets you prepared for your home. It lets you know what's going on. This also touches base with a home warranty, and a lot of clients like to do a home warranty because that just gives them that assurance that it would fix something if anything tears up in that first year or however long you get it for. So those are some important things to keep in mind when you're doing that. Now, with this market being as crazy it is and getting all these offers and stuff on it, we are seeing people that are skipping the inspection period. So if you do that, that's totally up to you. It does make your offer extremely attractive. I have had one client that did that, and she beat out an offer that was $7,000 above hers just because she didn't do the inspection, and the sellers knew they weren't going to have to go in and fix a bunch of little crazy things. So that is an option out there. If you're doing that, I recommend at least having somebody go with you on the showing who knows a thing or two about construction and homes, that can at least give it a quick look over while you're doing the showing to make sure there's not some crazy mess that you're getting into. So those are some tips for you. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. If you learned something today, give me a like, subscribe so you get all of my new information that's out there. I did give you guys a completely free buyer checklist of what's going on, the order of things, and a calculator for you guys that will help you determine how much your approximate down payment and closing costs should be. So that's below. Click it and get that. And thank you guys for watching.